Hello, welcome to Together Out Loud. We are on here on Sunday. We usually go on Saturdays at 12:05, but we had a tattoo date.
Saturdays at
Check,
12:05.
check. Doing
But
my
we
sound
had
check.
a tattoo date Saturdays at
Check, check.
12:05. But
Sound check.
Sounds working.
Sound is working.
So don't
Yeah, we
mind
had
us.
tattoo dates. She got a tattoo and I got a tattoo. So that's why we didn't do it yesterday. If you were looking for us or wondering where we were, that is why we didn't do it. We can, I guess, go over what we discussed in the last one, if you want to.
Yeah. So we actually episode
15.
episode 15 was last week. And basically Jason did an interview on me because in episode 10 we made it kind of like a special about something that he endured in his past, and he opened up about it, and he had some questions about the way my mind works, and so we talked
Yes, because
about.
she's always very calm, and sometimes I kind of envy that.
So
I get bent out of shape very easily. Go ahead, sorry.
That's okay. So he kind of asked questions, and we just had the conversation running based off the questions, and we got into my thoughts on how I got to the point where I don't really care what people think. My thoughts on how to.
I'm sending invites as well.
Remain calm, I guess. What I do to remain calm. Kind of a little bit of my upbringing, and we touched on some current events too, like what my stance is on feminism and
unaliving of living babies.
Yeah, babies, not parasites. But that's basically that. And there's some clips. I didn't post all the clips because I really don't like talking about myself. But there's some clips up if you want to check it out. But we are also on YouTube and Spotify, full episodes on YouTube and Spotify. We also do have guests up every once in a while. So if you, thank you, Ren, for liking our live.
And following. She followed as well. Thank you.
So if you ever come up as a guest, just know that we do take the recorded lives and upload them to Spotify and YouTube.
So. Full disclosure, yeah. Disclosure. And actually, maybe next episode 17, we'll do that again. Maybe we'll invite a bunch of people up because I like to do that often. And the larger our following gets, the more we'll get on and bring people up because I like to hear other people's stories. We brought Dan up. I really enjoyed his story and talking a lot about his wife from the Philippines and the difference in culture. And I really liked when we had a bunch of people up on the one, and we were talking to Marcus for a while, and Marcus is a good guy. So shout out to Marcus down there in Dallas, Texas. He was down there feeding the squirrels and just enjoying the day because it was gorgeous down there while it was like 30 degrees here. Mm-hmm. So we were still suffering from winter at that point.
And he has a positive outlook.
Yes. And that's, excuse me. That's actually why we do this. And we mention this in every episode. We do this because we're trying to just reach out to people who perhaps might not have someone there to talk to, might be lonely and might be suffering. And we're just hoping to help uplift people, especially like using Jesus, through Jesus, uplift people and introduce people to Jesus, and possibly even debate and have some discussions and conversations with people that we might disagree with as well. Because conversation is how you fix a lot of the things that I feel is how you fix a lot of the things that are wrong in this world.
Yeah, and a lot of social media and stuff is negativity. As some of the lives that because used to go on and debate people, it's just like negative, and we don't want to.
Yeah, we don't want the negativity.
No, we wanted to.
Although I'm sure there will be times where it will get negative.
Yeah,
but we also don't want. Not to interrupt you, we also don't want, like, we're not going to do this and be like, tap the screen, no. Do this, do that. Like, this is all about you guys as well as us. So, and if you want to take our advice, you take our advice. And if you disagree with our advice, you can disagree with it as well. And we can discuss the disagreements that you have. That's what we love about it. Oh, J.E.'s in here.
I don't know. What's a throat goat?
Babe. I think he's talking about making my tattoo.
Oh.
But that's okay. But yeah, don't say that. That's a pornography.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, you get it now.
Yeah.
But I don't care. Great comment though. Yeah, encourage people to comment, and you can say stuff like that. That's cool too. I'm okay with that. No judgment, and if you want to judge, I'm okay with that too. Only God can judge me, and Jesus Christ. So, I appreciate your input. I appreciate your opinion, and I appreciate your input.
We knew you were.
That's a Firefly from the Last of Us fan. I got some other Last
And
of Us
JE,
tattoos,
we
but...
knew you were still alive.
Yeah, we knew you were still alive. I don't know why you're trying to trick everybody and making them think you're not alive. But I do appreciate the files. I think it's kind of cool that you like made sure that you kept accurate
records.
Thank you. That's the exact word I was looking for. Accurate records on who like was visiting your island. So shout out to my boy JE here in the comments, who apparently thinks that I'm the TG. I don't know if we could say that. I could say it. Throat goat. But we'll just say TG. That's what it's going to stand for now if we say TG on here. But shout out for thinking that I'm that. But at least for me, I don't like underage people. So I got that going for me. Sorry.
And I'm just oblivious. I have no idea what, I didn't have a clue on what that meant. So I'm stupid.
She didn't know what that meant. That's why we need to get you a throat tattoo. Because I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
I think I get it now.
But we appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining, and thank you for commenting and engaging with us. And we encourage everybody to just continue to comment and continue to engage, because that's what this is all about. It's all about free speech. You can say whatever you want. I like that, and I appreciate it.
TikTok has issues.
Yeah, TikTok has issues with free speech. You might get in trouble. You might get in trouble. You might get censored.
Follow us on YouTube and Spotify and Instagram, because Instagram is a little bit more lax with that stuff, but we need 100 followers to go live on there. But we also, I don't know, I'd have to look into it if we can bring guests up on Instagram. I don't know.
I don't know either. But at least on Spotify and YouTube, you can watch our full episodes unscripted and uncensored. So that's good as well.
Yeah.
And also feel free to follow on TikTok and on Instagram, like she said. But we will get right into this. Do you want to start us out? Today we're going to be talking about raising kids to think critically, which, excuse me, I've had this cough for 4 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know, something around there. But I don't think I'm sick. It's not coming from my chest. It's coming from a tickle in my throat. And actually, when we went and got our tattoos yesterday, I had them laughing because I was like, maybe it's an ingrown hair and it's curling, and it's growing into my throat and it's tickling my throat. And because it's in there, it's in the throat. That's what I say that because I knew a guy who had an ingrown hair once and it was curled up, and when they uncurled it, it was over a foot long. But kind of cool. Anyways, that was the sidetrack. But yeah, I feel like we think pretty critically.
Yeah.
Because we criticize everything, everyone.
Question everything.
That's right. Even our own Bible. But those questions we just ask out of curiosity.
So that goes into teaching your kids to question everything, which brings us to, well, this is a funny story where, we teach the kids to question our government, because it's not like our government is not the only government that would be good to their people where everybody else's are not. That doesn't make sense. But our oldest, Kiefer, he was kind of questioning the government with his teacher, and I
would say boom booms if you're going to say it.
So she was talking about how some of our programs are government programs where they help people, where they have programs to give people food and stuff like that. And she was basically saying how the government is good. And Kiefer was like, well, if the government is good, why are they letting that country boom all the other countries? And I can't say that country because we got restricted.
Can you spell it out?
ISRAEL, right?
Yeah.
I say that because when I say it out loud, I'm like, and we got restricted last time we said that word. So I thought it was funny, but I also thought it was good that he's questioning it. And I want that I don't want them to just believe everything that we're taught, especially
even things that we teach them.
Yeah.
Even question us.
Because we kind of pass down what we've learned and things like that, which I so badly want to homeschool, but it's just like not in the cards at the moment. But we read the Bible to them. We try to read every day, and that's something that we want them to learn from as well, since they
That's
took
the
that
number
out of
one.
the
That's the number
schools.
one resource
Yeah.
we want them to use in their lives.
But the public school system is a sham, and that's why we want them to question everything, because it's come out that Ghislaine, her dad owns the publishing company of all the textbooks that we've had growing up.
That was her name, Robert Maxwell.
So
his name. I said her name.
So you can't trust what's in our textbooks. They want you to learn what they want you to learn. They can control it. Just like over in Germany, the way World War II is taught is different than what we're taught. And after watching Oppenheimer, is that what it is?
Yes.
It made me kind of question if whether we were the good guy or the bad guy after all. But it's important to question everything, and it goes about talk a little about Lennox, how he questions things, and it's not really like giving people attitude. It's actually just very inquisitive and wanting to know why.
Yeah, he's very curious. I wanted to touch a little bit on the things that you said, though, because I do agree with the teacher that some of these government programs and stuff, they're helpful, and I do agree with that to a certain extent. But my only problem with that is taking taxpayer money and then using it. And I don't know, I'm not sure who said it, but I believe it was Jordan Peterson. But people are not as careful when the money is not their money. So I feel like private companies do it better. I wrote that down here because I feel like if you have private companies competing for it, that's just you get a better advantage rather than these state contracts where they don't care what they're spending because it's not their money, it's our money. So they just go, oh, okay, here you go, here's some money. You take the contract, and a lot of times hire people that aren't good at the job or just genuinely don't care. Because that's the thing is, like, sometimes when you get a government contract, you're going to get the money regardless. So, I mean, why would you care? Like, I'm going to get this money either way, so I can do a half-assed job and still get paid. I also wrote down, because this is another reason why we question everything. I wrote down flat Earth. That's another thing that, a conspiracy. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because she was just mentioning that you should always think critically and trust no one and trust nothing. And I used to not be a flat earther, even though even in the Bible it says the firmament and it describes the earth as being flat. But I used to not be a flat earther until I saw a video on Instagram the other day, and I was like, man, that really makes sense. And the video, which, think about this, guys. So anybody who hears this, just think about this. And if you can get back to me, feel free to email us, tolpodcast15@gmail.com, or DM us or anything. If you have information on this and you're a scientist or whatever you may be, and you're like, oh, I can explain that, I would like you to explain why does the sun not illuminate space? So the sun is supposed to be an orb, a sphere. It's not a flashlight, obviously. So why in space is it working like a flashlight, where it's just like, no, it's this large luminous ball, but it only shines right to the earth, if that makes sense. It does make sense to me. Like, it doesn't make any sense that it wouldn't light up everything. Like, I feel, this is how I genuinely feel. If the world was round and the sun sets, that goes past us, you would still be able to see the rays of light coming up around the mountains. Like, while you may not be illuminated because you don't have the sun in your atmosphere, you would still see the light from the sun coming up around the earth. When you look around, you would see light shining up. It would not illuminate you, but it would at least shine up to the point that you would see it. So why does it go pitch black? See? So answer that one. Anyways, that's what I wanted to touch on. Those were just a couple things that I wrote down. There are other things that explain why the earth's flat, but
going back to the
sorry, you wanted me to go talk about Lennox a little bit too.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about Lennox as well, sorry. And yeah, our middle child is definitely very curious and asks a lot of questions. And I've mentioned this in previous episodes that I don't want to crush his curiosity. And I also don't want to crush his bravery or his courage in being able to stand up against authority. And the reason I say that is because you do need people also to stand up against authority.
Yeah.
Because I'm not right, and nor is the president, nor is anybody in authoritative standing place in life other than God in Jesus Christ. But nobody here on earth is at a point where they're so, hey, thank you for joining, Bad Gamer. Nobody is at a point where they should never be questioned. They're so authoritative that they should never be questioned, and we should just keep our mouths shut and do what they say. That's the reason why we encourage Lennox to ask questions and push back. Like, for instance, in another episode, I mentioned how he was saying in soccer they practice with the 12U kids, and he said to us, he was like, I don't like that because the 12U kids are bigger, and they'll just push us out of the way and get the ball. And I said, yeah, explain that to your coach. And he's like, well, I don't want to get in trouble. Don't worry about that. That's not your concern. How he addresses it is up to him. That comes with interpersonal communications. However he addresses it is up to him. That's where I've run into that problem too, though, because I'm pretty blunt, and I've had some issues with some of the coaches because I'm forthright. Like, if I have a problem, I'm going to come to you. But my problem is if you're not going to fix it, then I'm going to come to you again about it. Like, it's not. I think sometimes people will just brush it off, and then they're expecting that I'm just going to ignore it. Like, no, dude, you didn't fix the problem. And also, it's not like, because I've addressed issues of fairness, like, because I coach myself, and I'm very fair with my kids. So that's what I request and seek from the other coaches. Like, if I'm fair and I give everybody equal playing time, you should also. So if you don't, and I come up to you and I address that, then you should fix it. It shouldn't be just like swept under the rug and you ignore it and go, yeah, I don't care. And here's another thing. If you're going to do that and you're going to brush it under the rug, then also be honest. Don't be a coward. Just say to me, listen, AYSO rules state that they don't have to play 2 quarters. I'm going to play them 2 quarters. Tough shit. Yeah, that's that. And then, because at least that I can respect. I can be like, oh, okay, respectfully. But I can also say, while those are the rules, I don't think that's fair. And I think you're kind of a shit person that you're doing that. And that's it. And then we'll walk away from each other. But you'll at least know my opinion of you, that I think you're a shitty individual who isn't fair to children, which is sad and unfortunate.
Who thinks that winning in AYSO is life.
Is the number one goal. No, you should be teaching these kids.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 things to kind of piggyback on what you said. So I agree with you about how these programs, these government-funded programs, could be great. The idea of it is great. But you mentioned that private companies, they would be more successful, and I agree with that because of the fact that my problem isn't, oh, don't take my money, don't take my taxes for these programs. My problem is you take too much money, and I know that all that money is not being put to where you claim it's going to go. What happened to Doge? Like in Australia, when they take the taxes out of your paycheck, they'll list the programs that allegedly it's paying for. I mean, at least that's something a little bit better. But that's my problem is government funded programs. There's too much fraud and waste in government funded programs. I would 100% support programs like that if it was more audited more. What happened to Doge, by the way? That was a joke. But anyway, and also there's actual individuals who take advantage of that system. I worked with people in the criminal justice system who were known drug dealers who were also getting SNAP and cash assistance and stuff, even though they're driving around in like Bentleys and things like that. Like, you mean to tell me that you're not looking into this? Or people who I think they should be audited more that way. And I also think people like on unemployment or on cash assistance, they should be held accountable for trying to find a job, because there's a lot of people who just choose not to work because they get more money on assistance than they would minimum wage job, which
that's sad too.
Well, minimum wage isn't supposed to be
a career, yeah,
to support your life. Sorry, I'm going to shut that because I don't think it's.
Oh, you're good. And I was just going to touch on a couple things you said. I remember, so she said a good idea, which I thought was really good, especially with technology nowadays. She thinks that you should have like lists of things that you can contribute to. Like you have to pay 7% in taxes. We'll just say that as a number.
7%.
You have to pay 25% in taxes. Anyways, you have to pay 7% in taxes, and then you can go on almost like a 401k and allocate where you want your funds to go to. That would be a good idea, and she's mentioned that before. I also wanted to mention in the wasteful spending, this was an article I read, and I remembered I was debating someone about this at one point, and I mentioned government waste and government spending, and they were like, "Oh, they do the best that they can," and you're like, "You have no idea how short-funded they are at times." And I mentioned an article that I read, and I even gave them the link to the article, and it was an article basically stating how the FBI purchased a $70,000 table. That's wasteful spending. And they're like, well, maybe there's special things about this table that they needed, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no. It was a table that was going into a conference room. Like, you can find a cheaper table, shop around, or two, build a table. Buy some blocks and some 2x4s, whatever you need, and build a table, because you can build a table for way cheaper than $70,000. That is just a simple example of how easy it is for them to waste our money. And again, it goes back to what I said earlier. They don't care because it's not their money. It's our money. So if it was their money, that people tend to spend their money a little more carefully. That's also why I think your idea of allocating it to different things that you would like to contribute to would be a better idea, because then it's like, yeah, I know where my tax dollars are going. It's going somewhere where I want it to go.
Yeah, and I also think it should be to kind of on top of that, you know how we get like newsletters, you're subscribed to email chains and stuff like that. Why not have like news articles about like, oh, okay, so this Pennsylvania road structure is declining, da 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 da, we need this amount of money. Like, you can kind of read on what needs the most help, I guess.
Yeah, or like, even like, for instance, we need this state road, it needs fixed. Oh, hey, I'm in that area. I'll offer to fix it for money.
And that gives
I'll try to fix it for this money, and it's lower than his. You know what I mean?
That gives us the chance to be involved, because it's funny, we vote for the people who are supposed to represent us, and they don't represent us at all. They don't at all. So I mean, this idea would give us the chance to actually be part of it and do something. And it's not completely like, oh, we're not paying taxes at all, I don't want to give my money away to anybody. It's like giving you the chance to make a difference and choosing what you want to make a difference with your money.
I agree.
And some other things, when you were talking about Lennox, I forgot to mention this. I like that because I'm very much like, I'm like a respect person. Respect is very important to me, but I also know that just because somebody's in an authoritative position does not mean that they're right. That coach that he was talking about, like,
and a lot of them don't take criticism well either.
They don't, and it's strange, like you said. I don't know if you mentioned it last week or just mentioned it in a conversation that we had separately, but nobody can criticize anybody anymore, and you can't learn and be better and improve as a person if you can't take criticism. It just doesn't work. And that goes back to this teaching kids to question everything. Kind of along with that is, you can't resolve a problem without a question. You can't, if you're just like going about just believing everything that everybody tells you, you're going to be in a rude awakening when you realize that not everything is peachy keen and
rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to resolve an issue if you don't question things. I mean, that's what I can agree with the scientific world on that, where you have to have a hypothesis in order to create the experiment and get the results, whether it's the results that you are looking for or not. You have an educated guess. So part of problem solving, which is, I think, is a huge life skill that everybody should have, but the majority of people lack, is questions. Stating the problem.
Yes, and also we want our kids to question everything and be curious, because this is also why we're so passionate about the things that go on in the world, is because a lot of people will ask, like, for instance, I comment on people's posts and stuff because I'm trying to make the world a better place and trying to lift people up. and they'll be like, oh, you got a whole wife and family. Why don't you go and focus on them? Because I do focus on them, but I also want to focus on you because I want to make the world a better place for them for when they get older and grow up. And I like that we are open with it so they can see our questions that we have for our government and our criticisms of our government. Because I think one of the hugest issues we face right now is dishonesty and not being able to tell when people are being dishonest. Because at least to me, it seems like every politician lies. Nobody tells the truth. Everybody just lies and says what you want to hear. And then when they're elected, they're like, well, I got elected, so I don't care. Doesn't matter now. I don't care if I'm going to fulfill these or not. And it's sad to me that we don't push back hard enough to get the results that we want, that every American wants. That's sad. And I think that they push us so hard into corners to be like, this is my party and I support it. This is my party and I support it. And again, is why the two-party system is broken.
And they want to keep us apart anyway. And the people who continue to be diehard Republican or diehard Democrat, you're part of the problem too.
Yeah, voting party line.
Yeah, you're part of the problem too. Like, you're blind to the issues that are happening right now. It's disgusting to me. But we, like he said, we even want the kids to question us, because I know growing up I heard because I said so, and that's it.
Yeah,
and
you should explain things to your children.
Exactly. And then I also I was trained to facilitate a parenting group at one of my last jobs, and one of the things that I think I mentioned this before, and I like this, I love this idea. Instead of just simply saying good job when you're praising your child or anybody, you explain what is a good job. Like, what did I do that was good?
Good job for doing this.
Yeah, because that's going to build their character and be like, oh, okay, I'm actually kind of good at this, or this is why I'm have a good job, because I did this, so I'm going to do this more often because I know I get praised when I do this.
Yeah, because I didn't even think questions were okay until I started reading a lot of Jordan Peterson's books and the things that he's written, and also listened to his podcasts. And then that's when I was like, you know what, I'm going to be like this, because nobody's going to know what I would like in life if I don't talk to them about it. But we've just, unfortunately, we've created a society where it's just, I feel like everybody would rather other people be wrong. That's what they're focusing everything on. It's like, yeah. I don't care. Like, I just want my party to win and your party to be wrong. So it's like, rather than focusing on the things that could change even within their own party, because like I'll see these videos on Instagram and it's just two sides hating on each other. And it's like, you're not gonna get any result or anything fixed doing this, because your response, instead of going, yeah, my party has some stuff to work on, my president that I voted on has some stuff to work on, instead of saying those and admitting the truths, you instead go, Kamala wouldn't have been any better. Yeah, well, Kamala wasn't elected.
Yeah, so we don't know.
Let's move past that and let's talk about the issues at hand that we are discussing.
Yeah, and that's one of my things too, where like if you point out something that is not right about this current administration, the always Trumpers are like
MAGA.
Yeah, they're like, well, look what Biden did. Look what Biden did.
Yeah, it's like he's not president anymore.
Yeah, and that doesn't just erase what Trump or whatever whoever in the administration is doing. That was an argument that I had with somebody where I was looking at the comments, but they mentioned Trump said some racist thing. I don't know what he said, but he said some racist thing, and somebody pointed that out to this person. This person was like, well, look at what Biden said when he was like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And it's like, okay, so just because Biden said something that sounded racist, it means like it's okay that Trump said it? Like that's the worst argument you can have. It just goes to show that you have no critical thinking. There you go.
And it's perfect diversion tactics. Like, for instance, now he has that rant about Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. He just has this whole weird rant, and now everybody's focused on that rant instead of the crooked things that he's doing and our government's doing. Yeah, it's just unhinged. It's crazy. I'd love to know what they have on him in the e-files. Yeah. And also whatever other blackmail that they have. I would love to know.
Really juicy, really really bad.
Because the change in that man from 2016 to now is just day and night.
Well, and I also agree with what somebody said that it was all part of the plan back in 2016 to get him in there and to like dupe us from the beginning.
And actually, talking about duping us, that will move us right into media literacy. That's the perfect segue into media literacy because we don't know what's real and what's not. So a lot of people, I think I mentioned in another episode how I do Eureka polls, and a lot of people nowadays, I think it was about 50%, and I was shocked that I think it was like somewhere around 60-something% get their news from social media over news. So that's how much we trust our news. But I also was just recently listening to, I can't remember who it was that was on Theo, but it was Rainn Wilson. Rainn Wilson was talking about how we pour all this money into these campaigns, and then the money from the campaigns goes into these news sources and into their coffers because that's how they advertise. And he was just kind of thinking like maybe we could come up with some different kind of advertisement for these politicians and stuff so that there wasn't whoever has the most advertisement crooked. So it wasn't crooked. So it wasn't whoever has the most advertisement and the most money, it wins generally for the most part. But he actually suggested, and I'm going to mention this because I liked his suggestion. I was like, I think that'd be kind of cool. He thinks that it should start from the local level up. At the local level, you should vote on like 11 different people that you like and that you trust. And this could be like people from your churches, politicians, future politicians, people looking to climb the ladder, stuff like that. But people that you know personally in your circle, in your community, that you know personally and you trust. And then those 11 people go, I made it 11 because that makes it uneven. So then they go and they vote for who they think is above them, should be above them. And that way the majority wins. And then those people vote and get the majority above them and so on and so forth. Now, the only problem with that is that also can be corrupt and go corrupt. Nice. We got another TG person, throat goat person.
Eddie Munson.
Yeah, Eddie Munson. He must have went and changed his name because he was mad because he was Jeffy, old Jeffy boy. Okay. And we were making fun of old Jeffy boy. Sorry, we didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but yeah.
That's what I'm thinking it was, the tattoo.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know what it is, but a lot of people think because you have that tattoo, that's what you are. Whatever. But anyways, you can't hear us or you can't hear her. Can you hear someone else? I don't know. Oh, you can only read. Okay, not a problem. And I got completely distracted and sidetracked from that. Well, because I try to read your guys' comments because as you guys engage, I like to respond to you guys. So actually, I'll type back if you want to take over for a little bit.
So he was saying about how the voting, how Rainn had a different idea for voting, which I mean,
thank you. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
More about media literacy. I know some people who they just repost stuff without even like doing their own research, and it's insane. And I would caught, I'm not going to say her name on here, but a couple of times I caught it and called that person out like, yeah, this has been proven debunked or this, that, and then they'll delete their post. Or I'll see like they'll copy and paste words and they will repost it as if it was an original post from them. So that's just more proof that people don't have critical thinking skills. They just piggyback on what they see and what they believe to be true or what they want to be true anyway. And I just think that's ridiculous. And I think it's funny when you call them out, they either get enraged or they delete the post as if it never happened, which I think is funny to me. But
and back to what I was saying about the Rainn Wilson thing, I understand that can become corrupt, but I just liked the idea of making it more local, because I feel like maybe then knowing somebody in person and having a personal relationship with them you have a better chance of gauging whether they're dishonest or not, so to speak. Because a lot of these people, I mean, for instance, Trump, it was a guessing game. It was like, is he really telling the truth? Is he really going to drain the swamp? Is he really going to lower gas prices? Is he really going to not put us in any more future conflicts? Is he really going to release the e-files? Is he really going to do this? Is he really going to do that? So then when we're backstabbed and he doesn't do any of it, and then he starts talking about how the e-files are a Democratic hoax, you're like, wait, what? But then some people are like, yeah, I don't know. I guess some people are brainless.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly what it is. They're brainless. And there are some good things about social media, but the majority of it is ridiculous. And going back to the 2020 election, where
and before you continue that, I want to say this real quick too. I think I finally figured Trump out. He's just about money. That's what it all is. I don't hate the man for it. I think it's gross, but it's greed, and I think that's what it's all about. That's the conclusion I've come to. Mm-hmm. I think that the reason he supports Israel so blindly and so fervently is because they are the ones that offer the most money. I feel like if Russia would have done it, he would have supported them that way. Saudi Arabia, he would have supported them that way. England, he would have supported them that way. France, no matter who. Anybody who's filling his pockets with some cash, that's who would have gotten what they wanted. Genuinely, that's what I really believe now.
No, I still think
not us.
I still think that they have something on him.
That too, yeah. I think it's also blackmail, but that's what I mean by
he's like going nuts.
I think it's also blackmail, but I think it's a combination of both because it was like 300-something million that AIPAC put in his pockets, like
the most. It didn't.
Yeah, that's the most from anybody and any person in history as well.
So back in the 2020 election, Mark Zuckerberg admitted that they would delete posts or hide posts to manipulate the election. So that's what is dangerous about social media too. Just like TikTok will censor and only they'll restrict you if you are saying certain things. So they take away the power of thinking critically and coming up with your own conclusions when you see and hear things. Just like AI is going to be bad too because you don't know what's real, what's not. I know there are some posts that if you read a story about it at the end, it does say this was AI generated for entertainment purposes.
How long are they going to have to do that?
I don't know. And another thing is like some people can be honest and be like, oh yeah, I did use AI on this, but other people may not be. Like, how do you really filter that?
Yeah, we're in a scary world where media literacy is hard to find and hard to do because, for instance, we just talked about this with the guy who does our tattoos yesterday because we both got tattoos. We showed them earlier. But show them yours. Where's is the cool sandworm from Beetlejuice? Sorry. Anybody who likes tattoos, yeah. But they can see it because the words are only up on yours. So like, see mine, it'll look different on mine. It'll be bigger. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Excuse me. But we were talking to him about it last night because that's something that kind of scares me a little bit because there's nothing stopping if I say something wrong on here that anyone doesn't like. There's nothing stopping anyone from getting on an AI platform and perhaps making me do something questionable that I wouldn't actually do, or making me say something that I wouldn't actually say, and then being like, "Look, here's this guy that you guys follow," and that's why I don't envy fame and stuff like that. Sometimes I just did this because I want open dialogue. We did this. Sorry, I didn't mean to say I, but we did this because we want open dialogue, open conversation, and freedom of speech. Because the more you censor, the more it's gonna, like I said in the previous episode, the more it's going to lean one way or the other. But this actually kind of even goes back into teaching the kids to question everything because with the AI advancements, they're going to have to. And also, like, this is what I hope. I hope we can build a society and start to push back against it a little bit in a form of, I don't believe anything. I think that's the society we need. Because then it's tough, but then you have where, like, if there was a questionable video about me, I would like to have a majority of people be like, we don't know if this is real. Let's find out and do that. Rather than just immediately go, nope, this guy's canceled. This is real. Because the more that happens, the more they're going to realize, the elites are going to realize, like, we can just do this stuff and we can control everything.
It'd be like 1984. It's 1984.
Kind of like the release of the Epstein files, but everything's redacted.
Yeah, well, and they also scrubbed out they scrubbed it for the files that mentioned Trump.
He was mentioned more in the Easting Files than Jesus was mentioned in the Bible.
But these people they still.
But some people are just like, no, not our Lord, not our Lord.
It's crazy, and I wonder what this is. What I'm wondering too, because some of those people also.
I wish this would get to him. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I just wish this would get to him, and he would do a truth post about us.
Oh yeah,
that's Samantha and Jason. They're just jealous because they're not on TV. They're stupid idiots. God.
That's when you really know that you've made it.
That's when you know you've made it. When Trump is making bad tweets and bad truths about you.
But going back, all right, some of these diehard Trump people want it to happen where he somehow can have a third term. Okay, I'm wondering, what are these guys going to do? What are they going to fixate on after he's like not in office?
Oh no, not again!
Harassment and bullying?
Oh no, we're bullying Trump. Maybe because we said stupid idiots? We're saying that about ourselves.
Stupid idiots. Whatever. See,
whatever.
I mean,
ISRAEL at it again.
Anyway, Trump good. We bad.
Trump good.
Trump
good. Praise the overlords, the elites. Sorry, we are but simple goy.
You're gonna restrict us some more.
We are but simple goy. We live to serve our. Oh, I almost said the J word.
Yeah, don't do that.
We live to serve our overlords.
Now I got distracted by that restriction.
Yeah,
it's so ridiculous. I'm so
sorry, guys. We get restricted all the time. We're just gonna be shouted.
Oh yeah, what are the MAGAs who are still MAGA? What are they going to fixate on when Trump can't run for a third term and he's done? He's done with politics. What are they going to fixate on? Because I don't think they like JD Vance as much as they like Trump. Like they are like diehard in love with Trump, and I don't think they are with.
I think some people. I think a lot of people still like JD too.
I don't know.
I think the one thing JD has going for him is he's been quiet about it. So he can, when he runs his term when he tries to run for office, you know what I mean? You're not really going to know a lot of like whether he supports the things that Donald's doing or not.
He's a hypocrite though, just like the rest of them.
We're bullying Donald. You got censored for bullying Donald.
Listen, I'm
Big DT.
I am like very bummed that I had to get rid of one of my favorite shirts because I can't.
I know. He can't even wear anything cool anymore except my goy shirt.
So I just, it's so disappointing. But yeah, that's media literacy. Don't definitely, question everything, especially the media. Yeah, my son actually will ask me questions about things that he sees on the internet, and I'm like, yeah, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. So I don't know. It's hard and scary because I don't know what is true and what's not. I don't anymore.
And also, I guess here's some more advice. Try not to be offended by everything.
Yeah.
And I say that because, like, for instance, I can go and I can say, like, I am against LGBTQ because I am, because it's a sin and I'm against it. Doesn't mean that I dislike you or hate you. And doesn't mean I want anything bad to happen to you. Actually, quite the opposite. I still want you to find Jesus, and I still want you to find salvation. And I still hope you find salvation. I relate it to any other sin. We all sin, and I don't think anyone's perfect. But when I say that, I'm immediately struck with just hatred because everybody gets so offended immediately. Don't be offended. Just like, you can take the things that I say and you can say that's his opinion, and you can respect my opinion the same way I respect your opinion. Like, if you want to be a homosexual, I respect that. You can care about and love whoever you want. I don't care about your choices. I do, because I don't want you to sin. But what I mean by I don't care about your choices is I'm not here to control the things that you do, but I want the truth to be known, and I want to help educate you and bring you closer to Jesus, because I know you can live a life like I live and my wife live. Like, she and I were talking about it the other day about just our kids and like the true blessing that it is. And we wish that everybody could have that blessing, because you may see some posts on Instagram where it talks about, like, I mean, I've seen some where people will be like, I thought my life was complete when I did this, and I drank, and I did this, and I did that. And then they have kids, and it just changes their lives, like a complete 180. But it's beautiful, but in a great way. I've never, ever, ever seen anyone do the opposite. Nobody's posting on Instagram and going, I had kids and I ran away and left my family and I'm a lot happier now that I just drink and do drugs all day and don't ever see them. Actually, quite the opposite on that. I see some people who will leave their family, then end up at the end of the video back with them and being like, man, I messed up. I can't believe how much I messed up. And that's okay too. Forgiveness. That's what Jesus preaches. And it's the number one thing we need in this life is forgiveness. But I want everybody to experience the joy and salvation of Jesus Christ. That's what I want. And kids, of course.
Two things. It says the Lord loves the sinner, does not like the sin.
That's right.
So the Lord loves you and forgives you. And unfortunately, I have seen. You found it. Where was it?
A ring?
No, his little turtle guy. Where was it?
Like by the couch.
Oh, cool.
Love you.
And unfortunately, I have seen posts where I guess there's a Reddit forum of moms who regret having kids and like miss their old lives, and it's like sad to me.
Yeah, but that's like 15 people.
I don't know. I don't know how many people.
15 of the same moms complaining. I gotta make sandwiches. Wah.
But
life
like,
is so hard.
They like okay, so I have a lot of thoughts regarding that. For one, it makes
it's because kids are not about self.
They're not. Okay, that's it. Like and there's some people who like didn't even, they say like they didn't even want kids, but they had kids because their spouse wanted kids, blah, blah, blah. That's a conversation maybe you should have before you even decide that you're gonna marry this person. That's important. So that makes me sad. Another thing that makes me sad is like they didn't ask to be born. They should never feel like a burden because that was on you. And third, you're supposed to cool.
Nice. Did you like it?
Yeah. You're supposed to let go of your old life. You're not supposed to have your life that you had as a single person. Can you shut the door so the dog doesn't go out there? Hurry up, please. Thank you.
Our dog's getting old and she can't control
so
herself
I have
anymore.
her in the kitchen.
So we have her in here, so at least if she goes, it's in here.
But it's supposed to be about sacrifice. So if these women actually were Christian women or read their Bible, what are you doing?
He wants to get in it.
Okay, well, we're not gonna get in it.
Yeah, don't get it.
We're doing a whole interview of you guys when we go to the beach.
Yeah, when we go to the beach, that'll be your time to shine.
Can we have?
Yeah.
And we'll even tag you in it.
Hey, let's stop looking.
You got something in your hair, by the way.
You're supposed to make sacrifices. You're supposed to become, well, for one, when you get married, you become one unit. And secondly, you're supposed to make sacrifices. That's what being a mom and being a dad is about. And the way you approach being a parent, that's up to you. We got 2 restrictions?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to click on it. Oops. Oh, I didn't get to see what the other restriction was. I know Mom was bullying.
Bully. Yeah.
Terrible people. We're terrible
Don't let
people.
the dog out there. Keelan, come. Keelan, come. Come on.
Kaylin.
All right, shut that door. Thank you, guys.
Sorry, we're all over the place in this one.
But it's supposed to be about sacrifice. And my thing is like these women are making it out to be way worse than it has to be, I think, in my opinion. Of course, I don't know what their life is about and maybe their spouse sucks. I don't know. But you're not supposed to, I get it, reminiscing about being alone, having your old life or whatever, but you have to look at what you have now and what new memories and adventures that you're going to go on as a mom.
And be grateful. And as a dad.
Yeah, and as a dad.
And grow together, but enjoy those changes and enjoy the new challenges that come your way. Because, excuse me, we experience challenges all the time, especially like with growing technology and stuff like that. It's not like it's easy. It's going to be constant work. But I like that. I think one of the greatest things is that you have a partner that works through it all with you. Because I feel like it would suck to go through the world just like alone and like have to face everything by yourself.
Well, and also like I think
you got to find someone you can put your full, complete trust in.
Yeah, and I think that's what unfortunately the women will feed into it, and like negativity breeds more negativity. So of course they're gonna like agree and be like, yeah, you're right. It's so hard. This is this, that, the other thing. Da 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 da. Just like the women who make videos of their spouses, which is cringy. So that's another reason why we want to kind of breed positivity
into our kids
and into our kids and other people. Like if I were to see a person struggling and complaining that they regret having kids, I would try to. It's hard not to judge, but I would try not to judge for one, and for two to remind them to look at the positives.
One of our restrictions ended.
Cool. And also, you don't have to be perfect. I think that's another problem too, and I get it. Like you want to be able to take care of everything. Just admit that you can't take care of everything. Ask for help, and don't blame your kids for being born.
And admit that everybody's human beings.
Yeah,
we're all human beings, and not a righteous, no, not one. Jesus Christ says that. And recognize that, because like for instance, I had women who were hating on me because like I think another woman's beautiful. Like no, Sydney Sweeney, for instance, she's a bombshell, she's a smoke show, she's hot. But like my wife doesn't look at it like I'm going to leave her for that. Like it's just an obvious truth. Like she's a beautiful woman, but like I guess that's like a jealousy side of it. It's this weird like judgmental like this guy's doing something he's not supposed to do because he thinks a woman is attractive. Like no, I could see it'd be a completely different story if I'm hitting on you or I'm in your DMs. But it's so funny how many times people will like tag her or try to go to her and be like, look what your husband's doing. And then she sees it and she's like, yeah, I don't like, first, I don't control him. I don't own him. And second, I trust him. She trusts me. Well, and like, I'll even mention to the people, I'm like, we've been married for 10 years. Trust me. Like none of what's going on right here is going to suddenly make her like go like, I'm with a bad person. Like she knows me very well as a person, and she knows like my intentions for the most part are good. And I say for the most part.
Well, and I also think
because I'm flawed. I am flawed.
I also think it's funny too that women are hypocritical. Like if they see Henry Cavill is, I'll give an example because that's one that comes.
Yeah, she's like in love with him
on my feed, and you know why?
Yeah, because I shared with her. This is another thing because I'm not jealous. I trust her, but I also like I actually find joy in like her like seeing the type of people she likes and stuff like that. Maybe I'm weird, but whatever. But I shared with her the one. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to mention me sharing the one where women were just like bashing Henry Cavill. So I'm like, do you see this? Because it was just so stupid.
Dude, did you see? Was it you who told me that people find Timothy Chalamet
more attractive? It was in that post.
Okay, I'm like that. Yeah, it was in that same post. Joke.
Timothy Chalamet over Henry Cavill. If they did it to Chris Hemsworth, I would delete my account. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. Internet over. I'm done. No more internet for the rest of my life.
But like, this is the thing.
Because y'all just getting dumb now.
Even like regular dudes, not non-famous guys who happen to be attractive. Like there's one on TikTok that I've seen. He's like a lumberjack. He has tattoos and he cuts wood and that's what he does. And there's like women in his comments like just being all thirsty and stuff, and it's like, so you mean to tell me it's okay for like women to do that
but not men?
Just like there's a ton of videos that come out where if the roles were reversed, like women can do whatever they want to men, but
like touching the men and stuff, like going up the escalator and they touch them, and it's like, can you imagine if a dude did this?
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm sorry, if you want to have equal rights, it should be equal punishment too, or equal what's the word I'm looking for? Standards. Like you should also respect a man's space, and I find this too. I talked to him about this too. It's funny, the women that like will flirt with him when I'm here, when I'm sitting there. I am here.
Yes, you're saying how men have respect, men generally won't do that.
No, they will not like flirt with another woman if she's with her husband or significant other. But women have no shame whatsoever. They'll just like flirt, and sometimes he doesn't realize like
I don't pick up
he's
on the signals
very
because I'm naive with it.
yeah,
Like, I'm
and
just
I'm
like,
like
whatever. She's
no,
being nice.
no,
She's just being nice, I
they were
guess.
flirting.
Sometimes I see it though. Like sometimes I'm like, yo, this chick is just staring. like, oh, I went into a store the one day and this chick was like looking me up and down. She was like looking me up and down and then did this. Like licked her lips real hard, and I like in my head I was just like, oh, like what that WTF? Which I mean, cool. I think it's cool that you find me attractive, but like, I guess there's a classy way you can do it. I just couldn't see myself like looking at a girl
a non-obvious way.
Yeah.
But again, that's the thing too. Like women will complain about, oh my gosh, a guy holding a door open for me and somehow flirting. It's like no, he's just polite. It's just a thing to do. Or even like catcalling and stuff, they lose their ever loving minds. But on the other hand, they also get mad when they don't get attention. It's women are so freaking weird.
Love you. You're not.
I love you.
I just said to our David, the guy who does our tattoos yesterday, I was saying how like the reason, and I'll say this to you guys as well, the reason that she's my soulmate and the reason I married her and the reason I'm head over heels in love with her and the reason she doesn't have to worry about me ever going anywhere else is because she has not only every attribute that I was looking for in a wife, but also like she doesn't nag. Like I just can't, like, I've seen so many relationships where it's just like a man gets home and it's like, are you staying home? Are you staying at work late? Like complain. And I'm just like immediately cringe and I'm like, oh. And it's like, you wonder why your husband's staying in the garage all day long. That's why. It's because you won't give him some peace. You won't leave him alone a little bit. Well, and that's the reason why, like, I bring her, we go and get tattoos together. Most people would be like, that'd be a great time to have a break from your wife. No, everything I do, I want to do with her. And the reason I do is because she's awesome. It's a comfort thing. I always feel comfortable around her. I have great conversations with her. And she's not just my wife. She's my best friend. And I just love being around her all the time. That's another reason we started this, is because we can be around each other so much. And we're hoping that other people will pick up on this and maybe they'll find a significant other, wife, husband, whatever, with the same attributes, and they'll kind of click the same way we do. Because you can find it. It takes some time and you can find it, but you don't just find it. You find it and you build it. You have to be open with each other and you have to communicate with each other, because you have to do it together, and you both have to be open-minded enough to be comfortable with change.
Yeah, and yes, so I have a couple of things to say about that. So first, he's actually mentioned this. Looks are going to fade. Things are going to get wrinkly. You're going to get too tired to do stuff, but that's why you find somebody who you can also be a best friend with and talk to and have these conversations. And I like that we started this podcast because these conversations that we have on here are the conversations that we have
every day.
And I like that. And I like that's something that's very important to me in friendships too, because I remember like even one of my old roommates in college, we would have these conversations and then we would trace back like how did we get to this subject. So it's nice to have somebody that you can be your complete dorky self with and be honest with, or have questions about life.
And bringing up being your dorky self, that would move us right into encouraging curiosity instead of conformity, because like you want to teach your your little kilds. You want to teach your kids to be curious rather than conform. Like, it's okay to be a dork. It's okay to be a nerd. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be a little weird sometimes. Like, embrace your weirdness. Embrace embrace your discomfort. Embrace your discomfort in life, because just be yourself.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to find a person that you can be yourself with.
Yes.
And a person's going to encourage you to change. And know that
in good ways, and also encourage you to be yourself.
Yeah, because what I valued in my 20s is totally different than what I'm valuing in my 40s. And it's sad to me that we waste our 20s kind of like
farting around.
Yeah, farting around and trying to be somebody that we're not, or trying to keep up with everybody else, or really having no clue what we're doing. because my late 30s and 40s is when I realized what's truly important to me, and it wasn't what everybody else was doing. It
or
was
what they thought.
or what they thought. Yeah. So if I could give people advice in their teens and 20s, is like, truly don't care what people think of you, because people are going to like you. You'll find other people who like your weird, or who have the same brand of weird that you do, and you're going to keep those people for life. And there's going to be other people who you can be the nicest person to them, give them whatever they want, and they're still going to find something they don't like about you, and that's okay, because it's not your fault.
And maybe I feel also like sometimes it's a blessing that we got lucky enough to find someone who we both accept each other wholeheartedly, 100%.
Yeah.
So maybe in life you find like a group of dozen friends who kind of like you and you're kind of cool with, or you find that one special person that like everything clicks. And to me, I'd personally have that one person that everything clicks.
Yeah, and
because we don't really have like a circle. Like we have people we talk to and
Yeah.
stuff, but I would consider. I mean, other than like Seth. Seth is a really good friend, but I even feel like with Seth, and he would probably admit the same thing. If he and I were like in a room together for a month, we'd eventually get annoyed at each other. You know.
Yeah.
Unless we were getting paid.
That's one of the things that I love about our oldest.
But I challenge Mr. Beast. She and I could be in a room for a year, just me and her, just feed us and stuff. And like, you think we'd get sick of each other or divorce each other? There you go, Mr. Beast.
No, because that's who. Okay, he's.
What would you be willing to pay us? Not to interrupt you.
We still like call and talk to each other throughout the day when we're working. That's another thing. You think that like,
and get mad at each other when we don't. Like, I'll be like, why haven't you called me? It's been 6 hours. You haven't even called me one single time. You don't love me anymore.
We'll forget who said that they were gonna call back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, did I tell you I would call you back, or was I waiting for you? But I don't know. I mean, if you're one of those people who is like that with your significant other, please tell me, because I don't know anybody like that. But he's like the one that I want to talk to about stuff.
I'm the one that she wants.
Ooh, honey.
The one that she wants.
But that's what I like about that's what I love. One of the things I love about our oldest is he gives 0 F's about being himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem.
He's genuine.
He's very genuine. He doesn't seem. He's sometimes oblivious of how liked he actually is, because we'll go to soccer or see somebody out that knows him from school, and they're like, "Oh, hi, Kiefer," excited to see him and stuff. He's like, "Duh."
He's like, "Huh? Who's that?" Or and we have to remind him, like, "Yo, this guy is waving at you, huh?" He's in my class.
I don't think he realizes how likable and cool he actually is. And I think it's cool. I hope that always stays with him, where he's just like himself. He's 100% himself, and if people like him, they like him. If they don't, they don't. He's just gonna be him, and I love that. And that's one of the things that I want to teach all of the kids, is just be yourself, because there's gonna be somebody out there who's gonna love you for that. And conformity is boring.
Conformity is boring. You don't want everybody to be exactly like everybody else. But on top of that, you also don't want to bully the different people.
No.
Allow everybody to be themselves. And also we want to teach our kids like
to an extent. And I say that because of the furry thing.
Well, like, you can criticize. Again, you can criticize. That's another thing. Criticism is not bullying. Criticism is not hatred. Criticism can be the truth. I had a conversation with a girl on Instagram earlier about this, because I'm like, telling the truth doesn't mean I hate her or dislike her. I'm just telling the truth. And I think that the behavior that she is portraying is 304 behavior. So, and I don't think 304 behavior is good for society or for anyone. And it's definitely not going to be good for her kids, future children, if she decides to have some one day. So that's why I said the things that I said.
Yeah, and the things on the internet, we can get so super popular with this podcast and have all these likes and stuff like that, but it's not going to define
who we are
and define our value. And unfortunately, I think that's some of these girls who have those videos and have that behavior, they're missing something in their actual lives.
And we're not going to sell out to conform either.
They need Jesus.
I refuse to be like, pay me money and I'll say whatever you want me to say.
No.
Like, no,
Mm-mm.
if it's against my views, against my values, against my morals, against my opinions, I'm not going to do it.
And that's why we don't do like, oh,
I think that's why CK was killed. Or sorry, unalived.
I agree. And we're not like even these lives. I don't. First, it's because I don't know how to do it. But secondly, like we're not like, oh, send us a gift, like, share, subscribe every hour. When
we only want you to subscribe so that we have the followers, so you can come back and see us again.
Yeah,
that has nothing to do with money or monetary or anything like that. That just has to do with growing, and because that's the whole purpose that we're doing this, is to get to know other people and for other people to get to know us, and for everybody to form a community where everybody's helping each other.
Well, and another thing, like these influencers and stuff who are famous and make money, and that's their sole income is doing this stuff. It's going to end at some point. Especially
a lot of it's fake too.
Yeah, it's fake and it's going to end.
It's just like painted up to look pretty and look like, look at how fantastic and fabulous my life is.
Yeah, and that's not me. Like
ours isn't fabulous or fantastic.
I told him, like, I'm not like putting on makeup or anything like that.
Ours is actually fabulous and fantastic, though. We're rich. We are wealthy because we have a family. We have people who care and people who love us, and puzzle time.
Yeah, and it's all about that's the greatest wealth you can find.
And the wealth through Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's all about
Jesus is our Lord and Savior.
It's all about perspective. So, and unfortunately, and they say like money is the root of all evil. Now, the love of money is the root of all evil, and when we started putting 10% back, for like church or to give, we always put our 10%. That's the first thing that happens out of our paychecks is 10% into an account for that, and then towards the end of the year we give back. He mentioned this before. He was very nervous about doing that.
I was terrified.
But it's now like part of his is automatically taken out of his paycheck and put into that account. And so
we don't even miss it.
No, because we don't need it. Like we don't need it.
And Jesus has blessed us with so much more, even just from the moment we started.
Yeah, I think since then, and it's humbling, and we have way more than what we need. And sometimes we forget that. We focus on the wants, or we focus on what other people have, or we focus on how we are perceived by other people, when in reality we have everything that we need, everything. And I'd like when I say like prayer works, even praying and thanking the Lord, like we go on family runs, and I tried to I'm starting to make it a habit to say a prayer while we're on a run, just thanking him for our health, thanking him for the motivation, thanking him for the sunshine.
Amen to that. I just started doing 5 gratitudes every day. Thank you, Theo Vaughn. He's the one who suggested this. Good. And he does it every day. And he's like, I do my 5 gratitudes in the morning, and it makes you feel a lot better. It makes you just anything. And there's excuse me, there's so much to be grateful for. So you just say simple thank yous, like, hey, thank you, Lord, for, like, I'll say one example that I use almost every day is I praise you, Lord, and I thank you for my wife and my children and my family, and that we're all healthy. That's a good easy one to say, and then you just pick 4 more.
I thank the Lord every day for just simply waking us up.
Yes, so that's another thing. Practice gratitude, because that's a great tool. It's a great tool for the tool belt to help fight off and battle depression, and fight off and battle keeping up with the Joneses, and fight off and battle possible negative thoughts about the way the world's going, and to fight off and battle the overwhelming impending doom of not being able to change some of the things you want to change. Yeah. I say that because that's something particularly that affects me.
Now, do you do this at the end of the day too?
What's that?
Gratitude.
I do not do it at the end of the day, but maybe I should.
I think that would be just as important too, because especially if
when you ask the kids what they're proud of and stuff.
What they're proud of, and also if I have like what I consider a crappy day, that would be a good time to practice gratitude, so you're not focused on the negatives, like, oh man, I totally messed up that call, that member was so mean.
It's weird how life works like that. Like Denzel Washington mentions how you can do a million things right, but everybody remembers the one thing you did wrong. But the crazy part is our brains even work like that.
Yeah.
We can have a whole day where we've done everything right, and that one thing that we did wrong is what we are reminded of. So try to break that trend and try to make a different trend by reminding yourself of all of the things you're grateful and all of the things that went right in your day.
Yeah, even if it was what you consider the worst day of your life, you'd be like, well, thank you, Lord, for that day.
Thank you, Lord, for helping me to make it through.
Yeah, thank you for making me through the day and help me to have a good
What does not unalive me makes me stronger.
Yeah.
But I'm good with that.
I'm good too. That's good.
Maybe on the next episode we will bring some people up and have another open conversation.
Yeah, and if hopefully we do get people. I mean, last time I didn't think we would get people,
and they just started like flying up. Yeah. Like it immediately just like started getting crowded.
It was nice. It was awesome. But if we don't, I always have these I have written down.
Yeah, and I have all my notes too.
To ask your significant
Darkness
other.
of Hollywood. Our boys playing sports. How I feel my parents could have made it work. Just different stuff.
Yeah, so if nobody wants to join us, that's fine.
We'll just talk about
these things. Shit. We're good at that.
But we love you guys and we thank you for joining us. We appreciate everybody who joins and engages and follows us and is part of our group. That's what we're going to call this, the Together Out Loud group.
And even if you troll us, it's cool.
Yeah, and even if you troll us and call me the throat goat, I'm okay with that as well.
But thank you, and
I hope you got a good laugh out of that. Sorry, go ahead.
And remember that Jesus loves you.
Remember that Jesus loves you.